Hi there. They call me the governor. Welcome to my live stream where we're going to be talking about season 9 of The Walking Dead. Though I prefer it to be called The Biting Dead, of course. And good evening, Dean. Nice to see someone from the South, kinda. North Carolina, is that South? Well, it's south of here. Anyways, yes, what's wrong with McDonald's? Hospicio nerd? I'm not sure what that means. And is my face really killing you, Cliff Ave Syndicate? Because usually when I kill people, I use like Michonne's sword or a machine gun. The LX Hitman was the first to say first. And welcome, Soulless 4. Are there one of you or four of you? That is the question. Chavrios, hello there. Wylan. Did I say it right this time? I keep on hearing it from Q.
Like Killian.
Quillian, like Killian. And Bane. Bane, I am Bane. You only adopted the dark. Season 4 to 9 in 2 weeks. Wow, you were watching a lot. Rhode Island. I've been to Rhode Island. I got a traffic ticket in Rhode Island that I didn't pay until I had to. All right, I said it right. See, I'm definitely a different person than Q. Keep that in mind. English, something like asylum nerd. So nerds belonging in asylum is what you're saying? I can deal with that. Hey, James, that is my line. Welcome to Woodbury. So, who here wants to talk about The Walking Dead? Season 9, we already kind of talked about the first half in my previous live stream, though can't say I hate the fact that Rick is gone, that prick. So, yeah, we're not really going to talk. I mean, if you really want to talk about the first half of the season, we can go back to that. But let's talk about the death of our Savior, Jesus. Jesus died, and we dealt with the fallout of that. That was quite touching. Herschel. Maybe we'll bring out his head later. He's, he's dead, right? Hospicio is, in Portuguese, is a house of crazy people. Sounds like most of the buildings in Woodbury. I have to rate this. This has been one of the best seasons for a while now. Season finale, not quite what I was expecting. Didn't have the punch. But beyond the season finale, if we set that aside for a moment, I would say this is one of the best seasons they've had in a while. Maybe since season 4. Of course, season 4 had an unfair advantage because I was in it. But yeah, overall, the season was great. The finale, we'll talk about that in a moment. I kind of talked about that little Netflix and chill situation in my reaction. Yeah, season 9 would have to be definitely, I would rate that as like season 9 is definitely a 9. I mean, did it have some problems? I mean, it had Henry. Henry was an idiot, but Henry was a kid, so he's supposed to be. Let's see, favorite episode from the previous 8. I'd have to say when I found some peace, when I met up with Lily and Megan. I mean, yeah, I had to put up with Tara, but no more. Hey, that was really when I could kind of just forget about Woodbury, forget about all the killing. But then we had to go out and run into Martinez, and that was just kind of unfortunate for him. shouldn't play golf on top of a RV. So yeah, I would have to say when I found some peace. Season 9 needs a governor. I would love to be there, only I think at this point I'm rotted bones. So I think what we need is a prequel. I think we need to have my early story, you know, where I became the leader of Woodbury and, you know, before I lost my eye, make it real easy to have depth perception. And definitely need to have that Captain Kyle audition for the part of the governor's brother. What do you think? I wouldn't say it was satisfying to see Tara beheaded. Chavrios, I hope I'm saying that right. All these names. But I have to say that, I mean, she was getting more tolerable as a character, so it's kind of a shame. She might have actually become likable at some point, but yeah, I wouldn't say I was satisfied, but I think it was kind of overdue. Kind of sided with Rachel on the whole killing her on the beach when she was younger. Alpha. All right, we're talking about Alpha now. Alpha makes, I don't know, she's not quite human. I mean, I think I'm still the best human one of the villains, because, you know, Negan, especially now, is running around saving kids and dogs. But Alpha, that is one freaky bitch. I mean, I do kind of like her style in cutting off people's heads, but she doesn't preserve them tastefully in a nice aquarium. You know, she just puts them up on pikes, then people take them away. No, she is one really damaged and damaging person. I kind of looking forward. I mean, I don't know if Negan's gonna take care of her as he did in the comics. I don't know if it's gonna be Carol. I'm actually hoping it's Carol. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, not fond of Alpha. I thought I didn't like Negan. Alpha, she steals my shtick. She has 2 hostages outside the gates of their community. Gee, where'd you get that from? And then she beheads people. But again, no class. Yes, Jesus did die for our sins. Actually, Jesus died because of pride. And, you know, Tom Payne wanting to leave the show. But he died because he was too confident. He's got some moves, I gotta say. Had he come by to Woodbury, I probably would have welcomed him. And then he would have shown me those other communities, and then we probably would have destroyed them. But, you know, he would have been welcome in Woodbury. Cliff Avenue Syndicate asks, did anyone see Dwight on Fear the Walking Dead? Well, on an episode? Well, no, that's not till June, but did we see him in the preview? Yes, and I want to know where the hell Sherry is. Because it looked like they were going to somehow meet up, and she had left a note. I'm really hoping nothing happened to her, but we'll see. Yeah, Maggie hanging Gregory without a trial. Now, I gotta admit, Gregory deserved it. He was a right bastard. I think that he didn't really deserve a trial. He tried to incite, you know, killing of Maggie, which, you know, that would have been quite a waste. I mean, she's a good person. She's a good leader. I mean, we didn't get along. I mean, I guess making her take her shirt off kind of spoiled that whole, you know, potential friendship thing. But no, I think Maggie did the right thing. She had to show strength, and it was pretty obvious that Gregory was guilty. By the way, Sky says hi. All right. Yeah, the finale, I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting at least a little bit more setup. I mean, they crossed over into Whisperer territory. They could have at least had a couple Whisperers report to Alpha that, someone had been on the land and her to, freak out and swear vengeance instead of just saying, I gotta be strong for what comes next. And then getting beat with a switch. I mean, I figured she did that to Lydia. To have it done to her to make her strong. Yeah, she's got a lot more issues than I ever did. How would the governor have dealt with Alpha? Well, if she had killed 10 people from my community and had that horde, I would definitely have. I would definitely taken steps. In fact, I'm planning on doing a video, the governor's plan for dealing with the horde. In fact, people down here are surprised. But I've been thinking about this for a while. How would I deal with hundreds of thousands of biters bearing down on my community? And I'm going to tell you my plan because there are things that could be done. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see. So Alpha definitely would have been taken care of. Henry better than Coral? Well, I think for this storyline, by the time Coral would have been way too old for Lydia, so I think it made more sense. I actually liked Henry a bit. He had balls. Didn't know what to do with them, but he had balls. Movie Man 175 is gonna miss Tara's thickness. Don't you mean THICC? When do I think Rick will come back? 3 minutes after never to the main show. I think he really wants to be with his family. I think it would take quite the financial problems for him to resume that role. I think the movies should be interesting, but I'm reserving my judgment. I did hear that Michonne is not long for The Walking Dead. She's going to leave at some point next season. I don't know if it's going to be a character death or if she's going to maybe find out that Rick is still alive and have to go to try to rescue him, and maybe that'll be one of the movies and she'll show up in there. Or maybe she's just moving to Wakanda. Who knows? Who would win, me or Negan? Let's see. Every fight I've been in with Rick, I've kicked his ass. Negan actually did pretty well, but ended up getting his throat slit. So I think I have an advantage. I think it'd be a good fight, but really, he's just a guy who walks around with a baseball bat. I'd shoot his balls off. Rise of the Governor for a Walking Dead movie. I would actually say a miniseries, because just a movie wouldn't capture everything that should be told. So I'd say like maybe a 6-episode miniseries. How are American Dad dealing with the low ratings audience? Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's still kind of kicking butt on Sunday nights as far as the ratings. It's not what it once was, and I'm hoping it'll turn around. But we don't have to deal with much. There's a lot of people who walked away after the death of Glenn and Abraham. There's a lot of people who found season 7 particularly depressing in the first half. So I mean, I'm still watching because I'm kind of required to, part of the problem of being in hell. Excellent, Chavios. What about a show exploring the events of the governor defeated Rick, like Elseworlds for The Walking Dead? I think that'd be kind of neat. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but there was a thought about doing on the Fandom Spotlite channel, there's a thing called TARDIS Express, some old commercials that were done where someone sent a message back in time And I wanted to do a Tutters Express commercial where I was in front of the prison, sword at Herschel's throat, and Rick's talking to me, and then the Tutters Express guy shows up, hands me a letter from the future, and I read it, and it's like, stabbed in the back, shot in the head. Rick, we're going to try your way. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen, because getting that situation together might be a little difficult, but that could be fun. And then the governor moves into the prison. That'd be something. I wonder. It could be a sitcom. The governor and Rick sitcom. Rick would probably be a slave like Negan did to him, but they would find a way. I think I'm not sure what they have in store for Rick in these movies, but apparently he doesn't have freedom of movement. He's not allowed to return, or else, in the show he would return. We know why, because Andrews, wants to be with the family, but obviously they're keeping him from returning. Negan for the win. Yeah, well, we're never going to see it, unfortunately. But it'd be nice if in the flashback he ran into a young Negan and beat the crap out of him, and Negan ran out. That'd be fun. Governor beat the hell out of Negan when he was younger, and he sulked off, but then he decided, that's not going to happen again. I'm going to make everybody into me and form the sanctuary and be a big bully. Solus 4 really hopes Carol bashes Alpha's skull in. That'd be nice. I think I'd actually lend Carol my dental chair and straps and all those implements, because I think she should make Alpha die over maybe a period of days, weeks, very painfully. I mean, she seems to like pain, though, so I don't know. Maybe not the pain that Carol could bring her. Do I think Beta is a killer like Alpha? I think Beta is like a big, loyal dog, and he's Alpha's bitch. And for whatever reason, I mean, obviously he could break Alpha in two if he wanted to, but he seems to have some attachment to her that's kind of disturbing. But I don't think he necessarily enjoys killing. I think he's told to kill, but kind of sad that Daryl didn't finish the job. Though I guess it makes for a good story. Thought Tara was going to live throughout the show as the last survivor of the Chandler family. Yeah, afraid not. There's not even technically a survivor of the Grimes family. Yes, Judith goes by that name, but we all know whose child she really is. So, let's see here. Are Alpha and the Governor cousins? No, but I think Alpha is cousins to Lex Luthor. Probably the cousin he doesn't like to talk about.
And Uncle Fester.
Yeah, maybe related to the Addams family. Aunt Fester, Uncle Fester. All right, let's see here. I got to scroll because appreciate all you folks coming out to see me. Too Far Gone says the best battle scene of the entire show. Yeah. We're not too far gone. Yeah, Rick. Right. Have you met me? I wonder if Alpha goes the same way in the comics. From what I understand, Negan takes care of Alpha in the comics. Sorry about the spoiler. Bane says Negan's a softy. Simon was the muscle. Yeah, but not quite muscular enough to take out Negan. But he was one sadistic son of a bitch, killed all the men of Oceanside and the boys. So I think that's part of the problem. I think he was a little too screwed up in the head. Hey, Jim. Q says hi. Willen says Skybound Gibble ruined Jesus prior to season 9. I agree. He was so underutilized. I mean, he was a cool character. I liked his attitude. I liked his humor. And he was just not given the chances that he could have had. Definitely. Let's see here. What do you think of the people of the helicopter saved? I don't know if it was the Commonwealth, because they're going to have some interactions with the Commonwealth, apparently. And unless he's in another part of it, I think helicopter people may be exclusive to the show. Maybe they actually flew him to a ship and took him across the pond, so it makes it a little difficult for him to return. All right, let's see. Suspicion Nerd, you think it was talking on the radio? I think it's probably, I don't think they're going to go that far off from the comics. It's probably someone from the Commonwealth. I mean, a lot of people had some thoughts about it being someone from Fear because they were putting up some radio tower there. But the timelines are out of sync, so they don't want to necessarily have someone talking on the radio and revealing that in Fear they're safe for like 5-6 years or whatever. You know, unless they're going to do another time jump. Time jumps. There was actually a time jump in the finale because it was all snowy, and then it like jumped maybe a month or two later to like the beginning of spring when Alpha came back. So I think that was a whole little time jump there. So unless they're far enough south, but they're not that far from the kingdom. So I think there was a mini time jump. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Rick. It sounded like a female voice to me. Slaughter Archive. Interesting. Matt, good to see you. Thanks for coming. James, I'm a lot of things. One of them, believe it or not, is a gentleman. What I may or may not have seen with Maggie, none of your damn business. That's all I'm going to say on that. Slaughter thinks it was someone from Fear. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, with the time discrepancy, I don't think they necessarily want to write themselves into a corner. I don't think they're going to be meeting up with anyone from Fear anytime real soon, unless they're planning on doing some kind of time jump. But I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, it would have been nice if I was in that field of bodies. Actually, would have been nice if I got the chance to talk to Rick. I would have told him a thing or two. He thinks he's so much better. He's a hero. Yeah, I don't think so. All the saviors that he slaughtered in their sleep, and then the ones that he convinced he was gonna welcome them back to, the hilltop or Alexandria, and bring them into his community, and then he just, shot them down while they're fighting biters. Yeah, Rick's no hero. Everyone thinks he is. I mean, he hasn't done everything wrong, but yeah, I would not call him a hero. And all I had to do was give him a Michonne. All right, I would have still destroyed the prison, but he could have at least gave me Michonne. All right. The good thing about Rick being gone, which is not having us see him kill Sherry and Dwight, just like from the comic, well, I think they've taken Dwight and Sherry out of the picture by putting them in Fear. But you never know. Someone might kill them. I mean, I think Daryl's probably calmed down about the whole Dwight thing, the identity theft and, the whole listening to that song over and over and over. But I don't think Dwight is necessarily going to die. His body's like gone anyway. Wait, who are we talking about? Sort of, who are we talking about? Is it my body? my Movie Man 175, my ghost forever wanders the prison. No, trust me, I'm in hell. Because I have to watch this friggin' show every fucking week. It's definitely hell. The Maniacs, hello there. Welcome to the chat. Chandler Riggs is going to Brazil in July. That is awesome. It's nice to know that we have some fans down there. And Chandler's a good kid. Definitely. I hear he's got some new show. Did you hear something about that? Andrea doesn't like to talk to me.
I heard he was on, like, The Good Doctor in a really small guest role.
Yeah, he had a guest role, but I heard something. I thought I saw a tweet. No, that wasn't him. That was his girlfriend, Enid. She's going to be in a new show. So hopefully Chandler finds some work. But, you know, he can always go to a lot of cons in Brazil. Bane, I don't know. Maybe it was Bane on the radio. Yes, is anyone out there? Yes. You only adopted the dark. I was born to it. Spitz, do I have any new information about the movies? I don't know why you would think that I would have the inside track. I mean, do I know some people at Skybound and some authors and actors? I do, but they don't tell me shit. So, and I don't know Andrew, but trust me, when I hear about the movies, I'll be talking about the movies and reacting to the movies. Hey Levi, welcome. Oh, Glenn, yeah, his body was buried, but I'm still a little ticked at that little fake out. How did he fit under that dumpster? And then they kill him anyway. Jim says if he were to deal with a horde, he'd use Molotovs to burn the walkers, and they burn easily, and they'd walk into each other. That's fire definitely is part of my plan, but I am insidious. It would take a bit of work in order for my plan to work out, but I just gotta say, you need a way to get rid of the Whisperers who are controlling the horde. You need a way for them to reveal themselves, because if they, were to say cry out in pain or something, then they would probably get turned on by the biters and get torn to shreds. So that's part of my plan. But yeah, I will reveal it at another time. Solar Sword, do I hope that Michelle dies as a revenge for killing my daughter and taking my eye out? Okay, yeah. I kind of still a little bit sore about that. I know I told her that I was, understand that Penny was dead, and I do understand. But, she had no consideration. I mean, when she killed, Bernie, she had consideration. She didn't put the sword all the way through the friggin' mouth. She was just, we didn't get along from the beginning, and that was just cruel. And, the eye thing, whenever I fumble without depth perception, I think I'm shown. So I kind of want her, it'd be nice for her to die heroically but painfully, because I think she's done a lot of good. But I do want it to be painful. Who knows, she might just be running off to be with Rick, leaving Judith behind, who will then be raised by Uncle Negan. What's that gonna be like? Steven, you've been loyal since episode 1. Episode 1 of me or episode 1 of Walking Dead? Either one is fine. But welcome to the chat. James, you think I belong in heaven? I imagine that when Rick dies, he'll be joining me down here. I don't think any of our hands are clean. Off topic, but what are my cars' names? Are you talking about the cats? There we are, cats. This here, this is Sky, who is like, what the hell are you doing dragging me in front of the camera? And the other cat, who is very formal, wears a tuxedo, that is Garion. Now, can anyone tell me what that is from? If you can tell me, I'll be quite impressed. Not going to get any prizes, but I'll be quite impressed. All right, so we talked about the cats. All right, I'm scrolling around here. Man, I am way behind. All right, what if the governor crosses Freddy Krueger in a crossover? Yeah, I think me and Freddy both enter your dreams. I think you'd be fucked. All right, let's try to do a speed round here. In Brazil, it's common to change cards. Governor Alva would change heads. I ain't put my head on that body. Way too short. Lydia is going to kill Alpha from Steven. I don't know about that. I think it would be... I think there's still a little part of her that would be too afraid. I want it to be Carol, but as long as it dies. What do you think? Slippin' Jimmy? That question is beyond contempt. What he did with Aaron, or didn't do with Aaron, none of my business. It's like it's the apocalypse, so it's just the living and the dead. We're not judging people anymore, except Rick's a prick and Michonne's a bitch. But you know, but that's because of the content of that character, not their lifestyles. Is it about Beta just connected? I don't know when you connected. We did talk about Beta. He's like Alpha's dog, and Daryl's got dogs, so they all have dogs. Judith Walsh, absolutely. She's no Grimes. Would Shane work for the governor? Comic Lena than what we have now. Who?
She looks like Comic Lena.
That's true. That's true. Would Shane work for the governor? I think he would try to be the big man, and I'd have to put him down hard. Uncle Molester. I guess you're talking about Negan. I don't think he'd... Negan, I do respect the fact that he doesn't allow rape. He seems to be very protective of children. And sometimes I like his sense of humor. Father, not the father. I don't think he's a molester, just an idiot. How does the governor take his whiskey? Well, if I could get some in hell, I'd take it straight. Could I react to Viking episodes? I love them. Thanks, Seb. Glad you like the videos. I don't know if we'll have time to do Vikings. I've heard good things about the show. It's just, we're going to be doing, if you hadn't heard already, we're going to be doing Walking Dead season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I may even redo 7, because back then I was kind of just doing reviews and not reactions. And even part of 8. Plus I'm going to do all the Fear stuff, so we'll see. I mean, if I got enough so that they could do this like full time, perhaps. So tell your friends to subscribe and watch and super chat and all that wonderful stuff. Let's see here. Do you wish you hadn't gotten Andrea killed off so soon? We'd have more original characters left to watch. She was kind of getting on my nerves, sorry. And I'm not around, so what does it matter? Jim said, I'm chunky man, I could be... Oh. I'll have you know, Jim, I've been doing the low carb thing, and I'm actually getting in shape for being in my own prequel. So, deal with it. Do you think, Slaughter, Archive, do I think Rick is your wife? No. Think Governor Cream Pie. All right. We're going to skip that one, James. Sorry. We're trying to keep this. There's a cat right here. I don't want to give her any ideas. Helicopters are probably related to the Commonwealth. Possibly. Again, it might be some other group. They do all kinds of stuff. The Highwaymen would do. Ozzy. Do I think Dwight will return? I think he's over in Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know that he's going to return anytime soon. That'd be kind of surreal to have him in playing his oldest self in Walking Dead while still playing his youngest self in Fear. I don't think it's going to happen though. That would be too complex. Do we should have seen the Michelle Torton go to see him? No, absolutely not. Comic book me, ouch. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to even think about that. Who is getting south very quickly? You said, yeah, I was thinking they couldn't have gotten very far south quickly.
The Whisperers.
Oh, the Whisperers, yeah, well, they don't even use carts.
Like get back in Georgia.
And they like walk very slowly or else they get killed. Judith and Negan versus Beta and Alpha, who would win? Well, I would hope that out of the 4 of them, 3 of them would die and Judith would be fine. That's all I'm saying. What made you want to talk to Daryl? I didn't actually talk to him from the grave. He kind of summoned me. You know, he was kind of delirious and, you know, he was thinking of me, so made an appearance. But he has to pay the bill. There's interest. Do I think Negan and Daryl will become friends again? Were they ever friends? What do you mean friends again? I think Daryl might eventually learn to accept Negan. I don't think he's going to be, you know, sharing showers or, you know, being all buddy-buddy. I did tell Herschel I would kill his family. Well, yeah. Didn't want to. I just wanted them to be on the way. I was hoping that they'd see reason. If Rick had just given me the prison, it'd be all good. If Shane was alive and found out Rick was missing from the helicopter, what do you think his reaction would be? He'd be looking for Lori. I think he'd be like good riddance at this point. He'd probably go after every piece of tail that Rick was trying to have. All right. Matt loves what you do, but you knew that. Is Andrea in my room? Well, yeah, but she doesn't talk to me much.
Hello.
She said hello. I don't know if you could hear.
Hello.
Yes, it does sound like a woman on the radio. If I killed Rick, do I think I would have killed Judith as a baby? Comic governor, even crazier than I am. I don't think I would have killed Judith. I think she would have become my new daughter. She would have been Judith Blake. All right. Arcade gamers, hey. Do I actually talk like that when I'm the governor? Yeah. Nerve gas would be a way to get rid of the whispers in the horde. I don't know that they have access to a lot of nerve gas, but you're definitely thinking about one of our tactics. Would definitely help get rid of the whispers. Who's my favorite character at the moment? That's a good dog. Dog seems to be the one with the most sense, though why I ran off into the snow. No, I like Judith. She's got some spunk. I like how she doesn't take any shit from Negan. Trying to think if there's anyone else. I really liked Ozzy, but he's gone. Carol, I think, you know, if I was going to hire a nanny, it'd be Carol. She would, but then again, she told, Andrew just said that Carol told, maybe not, Carol would probably have to go. So that'd be probably a harder fight than with Negan. All right. If the governor became savior, I think he'd get along with Negan. I think I'd appear to until I killed Negan and took over. Ouch. I'm glad I was dead by the time my arms came off. Movie Man 175. Slaughter. I don't steal cats. But they do have one in Fear the Walking Dead, who better be fine. Alpha. I'm Alpha. I got an issue with you, Alpha. But not for Tara. Tara, that was fine. You're in the thumbnail. Yes, you are. That mask could use a little work. It's a little wrinkly. Did I enjoy being Brian Harriet? I don't know if I actually gave them a last name. I was just One-Eyed Bry. I don't remember. You know, I was shot in the head and made a loss of memories. But yeah, I did enjoy that time. It was kind of like a fresh start. And again, Lily and I had a great relationship. And then I tell her to watch Megan. She had one job. She messed up. You know, and good help was hard to find. Evan's a geek, VA. I'm glad to make you laugh. Rebecca is also Alpha. What is this, like the Negan thing? And Delta, the beatboxing whisperer. That would be scary. And Charlie got the stabbed after seeing Alpha a week. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't like anyone seeing her cry. So, see her cry, then you die. So all this for a question kind of from outside the show, but did you get on well with the other actors and actresses from the show? Okay. Every actor from The Walking Dead who I've interacted with I guess one exception, has been quite lovely, and we had a good time. Not going to say who the exception was. If I ever watch The Expanse, Commander J asks, I have seen a little bit of it. I read all the books. I think that's the problem. I read the books, and then it's hard to get into the show quite as quickly. And it's just so much to watch nowadays. You know, they have Hulu and Netflix in hell, too. But it was an incredible book series, so from what I understand, the show's really good, too. If I was alive, I'd probably kill the Alpha Slasher style, but probably not Gundam style. Do I think Rick's alive in hospital again? Yeah, he keeps running into those problems. Got like, you know, Reba in the same place where he got shot. Man, he lucked out. Okay, Rick is your wife, Slaughter. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if we're talking about the same Rick. I think I know it was on episode 9 of season 4 of the Blu-ray. Well, we must have fancy pants with our Blu-ray. The helicopter's trying to get in touch with Ezekiel. Jim, interesting theory, but we don't see any connection between Ezekiel and the helicopters. There's been nothing thus far. Though if there's some indication, let me know. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably Stephanie from the Commonwealth on the radio, or somebody. They might have changed the name because they do that. But I'm pretty sure it's likely going to be someone in the Commonwealth, not Jadis, not Maggie, you know. But then again, if Maggie's show on ABC doesn't get renewed, she may be back sooner than we'd think. But yeah, we've been talking about the radio. We'll probably talk about it again. Meet you at arm wrestle. Do you look like Bane in real life? meet you and wrestle. I'm sure we could be a friend's bane, but when I'm gonna get into combat with someone, I tend to not wrestle them so much as bite off the fingers and shoot them in the stomach, because it's fun that way. Yeah, Rebecca says the voice on the radio was someone new that we've never met. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stephanie would qualify from the thing. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in. Speaking of nerd, you might already be gone. I'm way behind on these comments. Lady in the sounds like Consuela. The background here, Consuela. Jim said the lady in the background sounds like Consuela. LX Hitman X, if Shane was live, how do you think he would deal with Negan? He would probably go for the direct approach, and I think they have a good chance. I mean, after all, he is the Punisher. The governor versus Dog, who would win? I would not fight Dog. I would probably give him some kibble, and then we'd be friends. Would the governor want to have Lydia as his daughter? Well, I think Lydia's a good kid. I think she'd be. You can never replace Penny, but I think if I were to encounter Lydia, were I still alive, I would probably take her under my wing and treat her as a daughter eventually. Dog should be a community leader, probably smarter and smells better than Daryl. How big of a bond do you think Judith and Negan will build next season? I'm thinking that they're going to get even closer, especially since they're probably going to let Negan out of his cage. Carol should not babysit. Yeah, especially if you have flowers in the house. Commander J was thinking the same thing. Old Caldo, when she meets Negan, probably be like, hey, you, like most women, pretty fine. Now, I have no idea what Carol's going to do. I mean, she was friends with Glenn and Abraham, but it's been years, so I don't think she'll trust him. But I don't think she's going to kill him right away. She might threaten him. That would be fun. Do you think that you would have killed Lily for allowing your replacement daughter to be killed by a zombie? You saw Penny. Come on. I mean, that wasn't my fault. Can't rely on your brothers. But I don't think I would have killed Lily. But it might have caused us to split up. And, and if she pissed me off enough, I probably would have tied her up in a room and had some guy dying in there with her. That's kind of my breakup thing. Just have a biter, take care of her. How long is Negan contract? I have no idea. I'd love Chavios to see Governor vs. Alpha. Melissa, I don't know that Negan's quite redeemed himself, but I think he's gone away to be tolerated. He's not going to be accepted for a while. Maybe with Maggie not around, there's more likely, but Michonne remembers. She's gone next season too, so he may end up being the fucking leader. Oh man wants to know who the exception was. Nope. Not going to say it. Unless there's a really big super chat. Did Jadis take Rick to the Commonwealth? Again, I don't think it's the same group that they're going to be meeting soon because the movies, I think Rick is going to be in some brand new community that is not in the comics at all. Jim saying, I'm not sunburnt. There's not sun in hell, there's heat. There's also some cold parts, and there's also season finales that aren't season finales. You'd be amazed. Yeah, there doesn't happen to be, but it was the same way there wasn't a theory in season 7. Yeah, the scavengers were not from the comics. I don't know what the gummy bear is. Working Ned. I think you're trying to say dead, maybe. Eugene mentioned Stephanie Warren and Pamela in season 5. Be interesting if Eugene knew some people from the Commonwealth. I'd have to go back. When I do reactions, I'll keep an eye out for that. Just one, of course. Do me and Q play poker sometimes? He cheats. His powers are curtailed a bit, but he cheats, so I don't play with cheaters. Even bit his finger off once, but he grew it back. Supposed magazine show did not get picked up for the 2nd season. Is that confirmed? I read a few days ago that it was in limbo. So we'll see what happens, Rebecca. How's the machine keep your camera so sharp? Haven't seen it sharpen it once. Those, if it's a real one, the more she cuts, the sharper it gets. As governor, who did I enjoy killing the most? That's hard to say. Kind of had a grudge against the National Guard, so it was kind of satisfying mowing those guys down. And that prick whose son got killed at the prison, he was fun to kill. But there's so many. Don't ask me to choose. It's like trying to say which child is your favorite. It's so hard. If you were in my position, Dean says he would have found it hard to accept Martinez's offer of leading the camp. I didn't want to lead. He just gave me no choice. And, he was also bad golfer. Hitman, I'm not going to talk about Maggie's nipples. Don't ask. Now, if you have a chance to see them yourself, go for it. Have I had any experience with the Walking Dead Telltale games? Only the joy of talking to Melissa, the voice of, who's that character? Clementine. I've spoken to the voice of Clementine, lovely lady. It's with an E, Planet Earth. Yeah, I wanted to see Henry and Lydia at least do it once. Governor Pelma. Well, I didn't actually want to see Henry and Lydia, but I wanted to see them be happy for a while and assume that they got laid. I don't know who's Governor Pelma. Do you know who that is? No idea. Daryl versus Carol. I don't know. I think any interactions they have, a lot of people wanted them to be more the horizontal kind. Jim says, what about a group from Telltale Games New Frontier? They tell me nothing at Skybound. I know nothing about what's going on with the game. Melissa's told me nothing, and I don't ask. No spoilers. Putty Gamer, yeah, I agree. Can't be the Commonwealth where Rick went. Stefan asks, what do I rank Season 9 amongst the other seasons? Well, I would say Season 3, because it introduced an awesome character. Season 4, because it was still an awesome character. And then, Season 9. We'll go that, it just, I noticed they actually had color in a lot of the scenes. It was it didn't look so drab. So I'd say it's the third best season, except of course when I was in it. I mean, 6 comes close, but I wasn't in it more than as a hallucination. Maggie might be at the Commonwealth, that's very true. If Carl was still alive and Henry was trying to be with Enid, I think Carl would understand, but I don't think. I think Henry would have known Carl was with Enid, so he wouldn't have done anything. Not that he did anything anyway, other than, moon over her. Be very redundant for TWD to reintroduce Commonwealth. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Georgie, where she's from, but she might have traveled to the Commonwealth. But I don't think she has anything to do with the helicopter people. David Morrissey said he would love to return to The Walking Dead in some way. He'd make the tea. He's been saying that literally for years. And I agree, he should. And but he's not in charge. It's really up to them. I mean, there has been talk about another Walking Dead series, possibly a prequel, going back and seeing some other characters, and I think if they do that, it should be David. But don't read too much in him being willing to return, because he's not making that decision. Yeah, we have a couple interviews on this channel with David, and if you watch the first one, no, actually, if you watch my first interaction with him at Walker-Stalker-Con, New Jersey, he actually talks about being it, that he would love to come back. So, and that was like 4 years ago, 4 years ago. It's been no, it's closer to 5. Yeah. I think Carl would be more worried about Alden. Well, I think Alden wouldn't necessarily try to hone in on the territory. Shit, it's been almost an hour already. Let me just see here, because I'm losing track of all these things. All right, speed round. Melissa says Negan is redeemed in the viewer's eyes. Yeah, Daryl Michonne, they will never quite accept him, but Michonne seems to be softening him up a bit. And a lot of the viewers of the show think Jeffrey Dean is a hottie, so that's why they want him to be redeemed. What's my day job? I'm the governor. And but if you're talking about Captain Kyle, who runs this channel, he works in IT doing something. I don't know, some crap like that.
Very smart.
What, Captain Kyle smart? Well, he has me on the show, so I don't understand why Father Gabe hasn't mentioned the helicopter. Also, Negan, they both saw it. Yeah, that's well, Negan has been very communicative with his captors. He may talk about it at some point, but I don't think Negan's going to necessarily connect it. I don't recall Father Gabriel actually seeing the helicopter. He just knew about the walkie and her talking to somebody. He might have overheard about the helicopter, but so many. I don't want it. He was trying to put me in a position I ended up anyway. I didn't want to go along with his plan. It's been a while. Again, I was shot in the head, so I'll talk about that when I react to that episode. And at least down here I have time to work on my stroke. Bane is asking about the exception, if they were in a bad mood when I met them or what. I don't know if they were in a bad mood the 2 times that I interacted and did not find them all that pleasant, but yeah. Reaction to Rick Grimes leaving the group? About fucking time. Clementine will introduce the Commonwealth. That would be exciting. I don't know if that's going to happen. I try not to guess too far ahead. You know, they go into all kinds of strange detours from the comic, so I like to be surprised. From episode 15, who out of those 10 would have wanted to see live? Wanted to see Henry live. Ozzy. DJ I was kind of getting to like. He was a prick at first, but don't care about that other high woman. Addie, I didn't think deserved to die. Rodney, dead. He should be dead. That was all good. Tara, she overstayed her welcome. Enid, I liked Enid. She should have stuck around. Tammy, I wanted to see her stay. Frankie, no feelings one way or the other. I mean, just seemed nice. Yeah, so pretty much Tara, think that was fine. That other highwayman, who cares? Yeah. Tara, yeah. Who, did I say someone else? I don't know. Tara and the other highwayman should have been the only two. That would have been fine with me.
Oh, Ben.
Who was it?
Ben, the prick kid.
No, that was Rodney.
Well, yeah.
Rodney, the prick kid. Yeah, he should have died, and he did, which was good. Which one was eaten alive by zombies? What kind of sandwich would you make? I would just toast. Carl would cock block Henry, not from Lydia. Enid, definitely. Governor Pamela. Who's Governor Pamela, David? I have no idea. Where's the cats in the zombie apocalypse? Have you tried catching a cat that didn't want to be caught? Very difficult. Those spiders can't really catch them, so. Oh, leader of the Commonwealth. I'm a little behind. I've only caught a smattering from the comics. I'm trying to get Skybound to send me all the collected versions. But yeah, I'll take her on. All right. Or if the governor had a secret twin brother only he would know about. What makes you think he doesn't? How do I think Maiden cope along that universe? Not Andrea, but Maiden?
So badly.
Very badly.
Right that fast.
Yeah. She'd be toast. Sorry. Best season finale I've ever seen of The Walking Dead. Well, it wasn't this one. I did enjoy the last one. I don't even know. It's be hard to say. I have to actually think about that and get back to you in the future. AMC The Walking Dead one. Welcome. Glad you like the videos. Yeah, any good villain never thinks of the villain. I wasn't the villain. I was protecting my people. I was doing what had to be done. Alpha doesn't think she's a villain. She thinks she's doing the natural thing. She's, she thinks she's accepted the world as it is and not clinging to the old. And, from her point of view, she's right. So no villain thinks they're the villain. At least not the good ones. What books do I recommend? A lot of David Weber. Read his stuff. Been here since 7:04. Yeah, thanks for staying. So you must be like a couple hours behind. All the cats are alive. I think a TV adaptation of the Telltale Walking Dead game, I think it'd be interesting. I don't know that they're going to go that route. kind of the tales were told in the video game. But it would be kind of cool to see some characters cross over. Do I think that it was Daryl's fault that Negan bashed Glenn's head? Yes, absolutely. You know, you don't attack when you're that outnumbered. You know, Glenn would probably still be alive, and just Abraham would have been dead. I mean, I liked Abraham, you know, but better to only lose one than two. But Daryl just doesn't think. Predator Q, Predator. Well, thank you so much, Predator Q. I'm just going to call you Predator Q because it's just too long the other way. And we'll do our best to continue making you smile. Again, we're going to be doing earlier seasons of The Walking Dead reactions. Probably not next week, but starting the week after. We need a little bit of a break. XL Gift says it was season 5, episode 5, where Eugene says everyone, he isn't a scientist, and he mentions Stephanie and Pamela and Warren. Yeah, but, you know, I'm surprised. We don't have a lot of, like, repeat names. You know, they should meet somebody, and he'd be like, hi, I'm Rick. And they'd be like, no, you can't be Rick. We only have one Rick. There's, like, everyone has a different name. You know, that's not how it works in real life. Oh, by the way, take a quick break. In case you're curious about merch, this shirt here is available in our store. You can actually find the link in the description. If you are ready to react, this is a shirt for you. And you can walk around with me on your chest. And who wouldn't want that? Okay. How do I think Sally would have fared up to this point if Rick was dead and Shane was the leader? Shane, I mean, he kept him alive initially. And without, it depends on how it went down. Because if he got all possessive with Lori, and then something similar happened where Lori died, he might go a little nuts, you know? So, I don't think Shane was that stable. They might not have accepted him into Alexandria. At least Rick was able to pretend to be semi, you know, stable. Even though he wasn't. Phone calls from his dead wife. Thanks. Of course, I had to talk about the shirt, and now I'm behind again. Dog versus Fear the Walking Dead's new cat. Who would win? Cats are tricky bastards. I know. They're here. Could be the cat. Where's Lucille? I have it in the other room. Negan's never getting it back. Unless he promises to use it on Alpha. Or Beta. Who do I think was the most responsible for Woodbury and the prison coming to conflict? Well, I think conflict was inevitable. So I have little trust issues. So I think at some point, if I found out about the prison, it would have been inevitable that there would have been a conflict. What am I sipping on tonight? Well, I'm using the knocking point glass, so you can surmise that it's wine, but it's not. It's they don't have whiskey in hell. Best thing I can get is Pepsi Max. Or Pepsi Zero, whatever the hell they're calling it now. Then go back to the Herschel beheading. Would I have done it differently and killed Michonne instead? All right, let me explain something. A lot of people are like, the governor spent all this time hating on Michonne, wanting to kill Michonne, and he ends up killing Herschel. I didn't have any intention of killing Herschel. That just kind of happened. I was threatening Herschel because I knew he had family in the prison. Michonne, I didn't figure had anybody, and if I threatened her, Rick might not have been so affected, let's say. So that was a strategic choice. You know, if I had threatened Michonne, I don't think I don't think it would have come out any different, only, I might not have gotten stabbed in the back. So, in retrospect, I probably should have killed her. But, Herschel, it was a strategic choice because I knew he told me he had daughters in the prison. So he had ties there, and I was hoping Rick would see reason. Because of Maggie being with Georgie, I think Maggie would be fucking pissed. Try to hang Gregory again, David. Jim asks about copyright claims. Yes, I get those on occasion. And it seems kind of arbitrary because I'll get a copyright claim. At one point, the copyright claimed and banned the video entirely. And then I'll dispute it. And sometimes they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. It is fair use. And other times they're like, nope, we don't think so. Usually at the end, at least people can see it. But I'd say I got 2 or 3 of those videos, they're monetized and Shop AMC's getting the money. And I talked to Skybound and they can't do shit. But I do have the sympathy. Copyright claims suck. Quick trivia question. Do I know the 2 Breaking Bad references during season 1? I know they had the blue meth in season 2. But, I don't recall the Breaking Bad references in season 1. Irish Kate, yes. Katie O'Shaughnessy. It's a shame because I was at Walker's Talk of London a couple years back. I wish I had run into her then, but I don't know if we would have. I wasn't on the Skybound things at the time, so. And I wouldn't have known her from anybody at the time, but would like to meet her. Andrea's still alive. She doesn't take Michonne's place, Andrea, in the comics. She's like, Michonne in the comics never had that place. She was with Ezekiel.
Michonne takes Andrea's place.
Dean, my cat is not named Goose. But yeah. And even if we found an orange one, it probably wouldn't be. It would probably be Streaky the Super Cat. How was I still able to kick Rick's ass after being shot in the bicep? What's that? Because I'm a badass, and Rick's one of the worst cops I've ever seen. Without a gun, he's like the worst fighter. He had all these chances to beat on Negan and failed. So he sucks, and I'm a badass. Simple as that. What do I want to see happen in season 10? Other than Michonne dying painfully, but heroically. She deserves that. I'd like to definitely see Alpha die. I'd like to change things up. I mean, The Whispers is a nice change of pace from dealing with like Negan and his little copyright governor army, or copycat rather. Yeah, I'm not trying to again see too far in the future because I only got one eye, and I'd like to. I just want to see more of the quality that season 9, for the most part, brought us. I mean, even the finale was not a bad episode. It just, for a finale, it didn't have the punch. They should have had a little bit more stuff other than the radio thing. So why would I actually destroy the prison? Well, it wasn't my intention to destroy the prison. My tank driver just wasn't a good tank driver. It is so hard to get, help during an apocalypse. I mean, he had a tank, and they started blowing out the walls, and it's like, we could have, he could have aimed a little higher. We could have still kept the biters out. He didn't actually think about, maybe I should have some infantry, some people screening around the tank so that, I don't know, some redneck couldn't run up and throw a Molotov cocktail in the hatch. Not a good driver. Arrow can have him. Why did Morgan leave? He had, I think it's because he just had issues. I think too many memories. I think with everything that happened during the Savior conflict and him going nuts, he decided to go on walkabout. AMC, The Walking Dead one, does Skybound pick random people to put in their reaction compilations? Well, I do not think they pick random. I think they go through, and when they find a reactor they like, they will definitely check and make sure that they include them as much as possible in their new reactions. But I think they're always keeping an eye out, pardon the pun, for new reactors. Like this last reaction, there was a young boy about 13. Some people reacted negatively to him. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that he was holding his camera phone so that it was vertical instead of horizontal. But he had some good lines. But no, it's not random. But I do think they're always on the lookout for new people. But when they find someone they like, I mean, I don't know, would you riot if they no longer included the governor in the compilations? I'd hope so. What do you think Dale's reaction would be of losing dog? I think he would go into ugly cry face mode, and then depending on how it happened, he would go on a tear. Put asked about the news with the governor spinoff. Did you see we have like a video talking about it? Because last I knew, it's not really news. It makes sense, but unless something new has come out in the past couple days that I haven't seen, there is no confirmation of any governor spinoff. Just David saying, I'd love to do the role again, as he said for many years. So watch that video about the governor spinoff. It was a grenade. Yeah, well, grenade, same type of thing. Thought it was a Molotov cocktail again. I got shot in the head. If my mind's a little scrambled, that's why. But yeah, you're supposed to have infantry screen the tank so it can not have people sneak up, because it's very hard to shoot someone with a gun turret on a tank when they're like right next to the tank. Yeah, I said go through the fences, and we had a tank, for God's sakes. If we drove them out and some biters were on the other side of the fences, we'd just run them the fuck over. Would have been fine. Do I ever wish they would do more like Lost with flashbacks and forwards? I think Arrow has kind of soured me on flashbacks and flash forwards for a while. So we did actually have the flashback with the whole thing with the scars and actually with Lydia's story. So I've had a few flashbacks, but I don't think it should be overused. Yeah, let me catch up. What other shows do I like? I enjoy The Flash. Titans was very good. Waiting for the second season of that. Cobra Kai. Now that kicked ass in more ways than one. And yeah, too many to name, but Star Trek Discovery. Q's kind of making me watch that with him. Retracted Message. AMC. Yeah, if by all means do some reaction videos. I mean, Skybound's always looking for new people to throw into the mix. And but people have asked, how do you submit to Skybound? I never submitted anything to Skybound. They just the first time they used me was when Carl died, and that was actually before I was doing it in reaction format. It was more of a review, so they just added in my thing what I said I was going to miss the pudding-eating bastard at the end, but someone brought my attention to that, and I said, maybe I should do it in a reaction format. So apparently Skybound was aware of me for a long time, but I didn't fit into their videos until I switched formats. How do I think this is gonna? How are they gonna fall? In a downward direction. I just wish Eugene would stop making some bullets at work and let's mow them down. How do I think they're gonna fall? I think some of them are gonna get eaten by their own biters. XL Gift, thanks for coming in. Glad to make you laugh. Yes, the word Brian has one eye, and it was also painted, so I was like, you know, I wasn't feeling very imaginative that day, so I just picked that name out. If you would exit Daryl when he waited for Beta out of charge of the door, Beta used the fireman's axe. Yeah, I should have made sure that that Beta was dead. You know, as someone said in the reaction videos, you always double tap your kills. Matt, thanks for showing up. 3:30 a.m. Wow. Well, I know there's going to be, I think, 3 o'clock on Sunday, Eastern Daylight Time. Captain Kyle and Maiden are going to do a live stream because they reached 10,000 subs. So you can tune in for that. That should be a little earlier for you. What I think would be a good ending for the show. I don't know, the mist comes in and then it comes out and the U.S. military comes. No, that's the mist. I think them finding a way to eliminate the virus, eliminate the dead, would be a good ending, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to milk this for as long as they can. And who knows, they might end it on a high note, but the danger's still going to be there. Well, I don't think Carl was killed off because they didn't want to pay him more money. I have no idea why they made that decision. Or maybe they figured he was getting too old to do the storylines from the comics. So, 'cause he grew up fast. So by killing him off, they could replace him with Henry and Judith, because they're like each half a Carl. And then they got rid of half a Carl. Thanks, B-Dog. 3:22 a.m. in the UK. Yes, it is. So, judging by that, that's 5 hours from here. So, on Sunday, when Captain Kyle does his thing at 3, it should be like 8 p.m. in the UK. So that's a little more reasonable for you guys. Do I think the other countries find the survivors? See, we don't know how far the outbreak has spread. I would imagine it's worldwide. It would be interesting to have like a show of, in France they have the Walking Dead, and and maybe other countries, and a country like China and India with huge populations. Those would be one person get infected, it would spread like wildfire. So I imagine that the other countries have their own things to deal with. If I were alive now, how big would my aquarium be? Well, Michonne broke my original aquariums, so, but if it was 6 years, I think I'd need to, move on down to SeaWorld or something like that. Matt, see you then. I think 15, 20 years, the vast majority should be too rotted to move. Yeah, that is the thing. Yes, I am the governor. Yes, I'm in that universe, but my universe doesn't make sense because the biters should have all fallen to pieces by now. Them walking around for years without eating, they'd run out of calories. They couldn't move. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So maybe there's some nanotech or something involved, or some magic. Um, in season 2, they said France had a cure. I don't know if they had a cure. I know that in season 1 at the CDC, he was talking about, they had been talking to people in France, but I mean, it would be interesting if the rest of the world had a cure and then they just
Abandoned America.
abandoned and quarantined, North America. Because I imagine that Canada and Mexico, being landlocked to us, maybe even all the way down to the Panama Canal, they couldn't necessarily stop that. So maybe all of North America that's infected, and the rest of the world's just shaking their heads.
Since they can walk like underwater, what if they're all just like crossing the ocean?
Biters can walk underwater, but I don't think they would last too long. The whole shark versus zombie thing.
Into the pressure.
Yeah, I don't think they'd make much headway. They were near a cure, but they ran out of juice. That could be a problem. The walk is so slow. Yeah, the military, well, if you'll recall in the first season, they weren't that slow. So they've slowed down over time. What's that?
Fresh.
They are fresh, but of course there's fresh biters all the time, so there should be at least some fast ones. The biters by themselves are really not much of a threat as long as you're aware it's there. But it's when, you aren't aware, or there's a whole bunch of them, that's when they become a threat. I'm not sure why the military couldn't deal with it. They didn't have any zombie movies in my world, so we didn't know what to do. Yeah, if you were to kill Alpha, you try to get closer, try to relate, basically have a lower guard, then cut her head off. And then Beta would go to war. Well, the Whisper War is pretty much coming next season. And hope they watch my video that will tell them how to hopefully deal with that horde. And season 1, Movie Man says, yeah, Dr. Jenner said the French came closest to find a cure, but they didn't actually. Has anyone been watching the Passage? I did not expect them to do that time jump at the end of that. That was quite the time jump. Yeah, I would have loved to seen Ozzy stay around a bit longer. Since Michonne killed Penny, would I do the same thing to other people's daughters? Not if they're not dead. I mean, obviously, I was putting my trust in Milton to find a cure for Penny, but no. He let me down, so he had to go. And there wasn't much point in keeping him around once Penny was, how shall we say, skewered. Hey, Freakish Dolphin, welcome. But I wouldn't kill anyone else's daughter. If I came across Judith, she'd probably ask if I was a pirate, just like Megan did, and we'd hang. I mean, she liked Negan. I mean, I only killed, what? Andrea, Axel, Herschel. I mean, of their people, and it's not like she knew any of them, so. I do know that everyone, when someone gets bitten, it's a very septic bite, and it causes, it's basically like being poisoned, and then they die, and then they turn. Everyone has the virus, so it doesn't matter whether or not you get bitten or not. You turn if you die. Yes, I know that. Another time jump at the start of season 10. I hope that doesn't mean they're going to replace Judith. Thank Freakish Dolphin. Milton, yeah, let down. And then there's Eugene with, we're going to go to Washington and find a cure. Because I know how to cure this virus. We're going to fight fire with fire. Yeah, what an idiot. Hi, Gerg. Dr. Jenna's wife still alive in the CDC. Well, she got. She's if she was still alive, she might have helped find a cure, but I have not seen American Gods yet. We actually have an American Gods panel on the channel. There's a channel on the panel on the channel. Nice guys. Ricky Whittle's hilarious. Oh yeah, Merle. He deserved it. Michael Rooker always tries to feed me his fingers. Well, he's stopped, thankfully, because you don't know where those fingers have been. I think Rick would have done if he was still on the show. He'd be pissed. But I think he'd be strategic. What do you think? Since there does snow, they do a tornado, hurricane. Flying biters. It's like walk a NATO or bite a NATO. A hurricane would be interesting. You know, that could disrupt things. It's nice to see him deal with natural disasters and disease and stuff like that because that's real. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do a hurricane. Be nice. Yeah, they didn't get to Tyrese quite in time, Jim. Well, Eugene bullshitted that explanation, and they should have called him out, Movie Man, but they're like, all right, well, we don't know enough about it to say no. I mean, they sometimes do use, germs to fight germs, but I imagine. I'm not a biologist. That'd be interesting if kids born in the zombie apocalypse didn't have the virus. Hi, Tom. I don't know your question. You added the question to the, okay. If they died and didn't turn, that would be an interesting thing. Mustache reviews, welcome. You want Negan to become the main lead maybe next season? Me and Negan have never seen eye to eye, mainly because he has two. But yeah, I don't know that I want to see him be like the leader, but I do want to see him or Carol kill Alpha as soon as possible. So I suppose he can stick around for a while longer since they don't have the option of bringing me back. Freaking Shovel, we talked about this before. I would kick Negan's ass so hard he would be shitting through his nostrils. Fear of Walking Dead, they said in the school the virus probably started by nature. What do you call it? Nature virus? A virus? I don't I don't know the technical terms, but if it's just something that started out in nature, that would be like something probably coming out of the Amazon or something. Somebody imported a monkey they shouldn't have. I just heard something fall. Oh, my phone's over here. Yes, we have service in hell. But, yeah, it's some natural causes possibly. I think if Negan survives the Whisperer War, David, I don't think they're going to just kick him out. I mean, save Dog, save Judith. If he helps kill Alpha and helps in the war, I don't think they're going to kick him out. I think they would allow him to stay. I still think the trust wouldn't exactly always be there, but I think it'd be all right. Yeah, Predator. When I fell into that pit, those spiders didn't stand a chance. Do I think Merle could take on Beta? Well, I think Merle was a good fighter. Not better than me, obviously. So I think it would be a pretty even match, him and Beta, which means since I could beat Merle and Merle would be pretty even with Beta, that I would beat Beta, no problem. I would cheat. I'd hit him with my truck. If I'm in hell, why am I in the sanctuary? Because they like to tease me in this hell by showing me places I could be. They change it all the time, but it's never that comfortable. All right, I've been doing this for like over an hour and a half, so and I'm out of drink, so that's a problem. And we are gonna end this here. I think, did I catch up? Yes, I did. Thanks everyone for coming in. I'll say Merle just because, honor to the dead, David. But yeah, that pretty much is gonna wrap up for me. An hour and 35 minutes is, I think, the longest stream I've done thus far. So, but if you have other questions, Captain Kyle might be able to answer them on this Sunday. And he'll be, can I change my background in hell? You want to see something really freaky? Let's see here. Ooh, I disappeared. There I am. I just stole the background from Q. That's it, man. Thanks for coming. You have been here since the start. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Matt. See you guys later. Peace out. And we will see you next time. And yeah, give us like a couple weeks for me to start reacting to season 1, because we just finished this season, and I still have to catch up on Black Lightning, another show I watch. So thanks everyone. We will see you next time. And what do they say? Have fun and follow your fandom. I don't know. Governor out.